You go live.
All
Uh,
right, guys. Hey. Welcome. Give me a second here. We're gonna do our little countdown timer, and we're gonna kick it off. All righty, guys. So welcome back to another episode of Meeting of the
the
Minds with my
minds are
co-host Bob Jones.
yes, the minds are meeting while I am shooting Nazis in disguise as one of them. Well, shit, lost my disguise. Oh, well, I'm just gonna have to go back to the good old fashioned Irish accent and shoot me some frickin' Nazis.
well, dude, I gotta say, uh, I would have never called the bingo board for what we're experiencing right now.
I mean,
Like I thought it was like I thought like it would be it'd be like a little bit we go back and forth like had it's had been, but I did not realize like the whole thing was gonna
I mean,
blow up.
like, let's be honest. What happened is um, I, I'm going to. I can't remember where it comes from. Oh wait. It's something similar to like the Batman, the Dark Knight speech, where he's like, in their hubris, or in their, you know, this desperation, they turn to someone they didn't quite fully understand. Well, in this case, it's the gaming industry in their hubris turned to the tactics that they always used, not understanding that new tactics were being used against them. And it
Yeah.
literally was using their own tactics against them. Everything they say, everyone's like, wait a second. That's what I heard last time. Yep. And, I mean, we're just making a list so people can know what these guys were doing. That's it. We're not saying anything else other than that. We're just making a list so
Yep.
people can know what games not to buy. Don't speak with your money, so don't, buy these games. Oh. So all of a sudden, that if you don't want it, don't buy it. The minute we start saying we don't want your stuff, we're not going to buy it, that becomes a problem.
Yep. Yeah, like and that's the thing that's my biggest issue is like for years we were dealing with them telling us, oh well, if you don't like this, don't buy it. So what do? We go and we support stuff like Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil Remake, um, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy Rebirth remake, old titles like
The
Dark
Saboteur,
Force,
like what I'm playing right now.
Saboteur, Dark Forces. We're like, fine. We're gonna go old catalog. We're gonna go old school. We don't care about this new crap. And look, when you got a title literally that's based in the Batman universe and the DC universe at large, that isn't even concurrently after a month of it being released, 100 people per day, you lost your narrative.
I mean, man, there's a lot of things they lost there.
I know, but I mean the high and mightiness to me is like I'm like yeah like
Well,
I,
for me, it's more. There's not so much just the high and mightiness. It's the hubris that they thought that they could do no wrong.
right.
Like, it wasn't that the fact that they were high and mighty. It's like I said, they had hubris. They didn't think that gamers would actually rally against them again, because the last time gamers rallied, they were easily able to quash that revolt via the gaming journalism. And
I
don't
don't I wouldn't say they squashed uh the first round Gamergate. I mean they did do some damage, but I don't think they got out because ultimately we look like Zoe Quinn and them guys. They were kicked out. They eventually got out. It took a little while, but it comes in a cycle. You know what
yeah,
I
but
mean?
they just moved on to other industries, and we still have to deal with the problem of
Well,
Anita
Yeah, true.
Sarkeesian and feminist frequency. We have once again them constantly pointing to the first Gamergate as the big bad boogeyman,
Yeah,
which we all
true.
know is not true. And let's be honest, a lot of the same people that were working for Zoe Quinn as her PR people are the same people involved here. And let's not forget, every time, being the fact that these are the ones in control of media, they refer to Gamergate as a right wing or far right hate mob and harassment mob.
When
And once again,
what?
last point I gotta make. Last point
Yeah.
I gotta make. Once again, right wing media, the people that constantly talk about how they need to storm the front on culture, are once again being silent on the face of culture and saying that video games are an evil that we need to be excising.
Yeah,
Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh, dude, this is why the right is like, I constantly said, like, I'm fine with sticking in the middle, because the right wing, except for a few people like Sidney Watson or Tim Cast or Tim Pool,
Well,
or
here's the
Lawrence.
thing. Tim Pool's not right wing though, and that right there is
No,
the
no,
whole
no, no, no,
point.
no, no, no. I'm just talking about people in general they would label him right wing. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sure they label him right wing. They label us right wing, but let's be honest. Me, I'm sorry. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. You could suck a big bag of phallic things, and quite frankly, because I don't like either of y'all. Y'all are both oppressive douchebags that tell me
Yeah,
what to do, and I
I
don't
would
like it.
agree. I would agree completely. Now, I am a centrist. I always call myself a centrist. They hate me. I was actually just listening to Saggy Mellon's podcast, and she was like talking about, like where she is, and I'm like, what, I know she was on the one. She was telling her beginnings, like she was on the one side, and I said, I'd rather be in a centrist, because you know what? I'm gonna stand on my morals.
Well, here's the thing.
Because
I
both sides.
understand.
Here's the thing. Let me finish. And I'll let you go.
Go.
Okay. So, on my view, the right wing once again cannot engage the culture war because they suck big
Yes,
time.
yes.
Okay. They suck big time. The ones the people, like most right wing people, do not understand gaming at all. In terms of the big people up in the very top, like, Daily Wire, Fox News, and those guys. It's the little people that understand gaming and
Oh,
indie.
but let's be honest. It's because the talking heads at these and it's why people keep saying like Ben Shapiro has always been controlled up. Yeah, and moments like this is why people say Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, and all of them are controlled opposition.
Yeah,
Because once again, when you think they would say, "Hey, this is lauded on. This is our perfect chance to say, see, this is exactly why we need to get this woke mentality out of our culture. We don't need this. Why are we letting the woke skulls and like indoctrinate our children with these things that they play every day? Now we can't exactly say that we're going to remove our kids from this environment because they go over to their friend's house and their friends will have these same games. And now you can control who your friends hang out with, but not always what their parents do, and so on and so forth. And
right.
like and this would be like the perfect, let's make sure we have right-wing values, quote unquote, in the media that our kids are consuming. This is the perfect area for them to sit there and say, hey, this is this is like literally the so we're gonna go into a bit of history. So the big problem with the 91 Gulf War is we pull like there were several points where the Iraqis thought after we were scaling back that
Hmm.
they were revolting, expecting the Americans to push. Right now, all the gamers saying lauded up, this is the right moment to push. If
Yeah,
you really wanted to make a difference and win, this is your moments to push. This is your moment to say, for America, do the braveheart thing for freedom. Throw the freaking claymore out into the freaking field, and then everyone storms.
but it's that I'm not seeing it. Unfortunately, you're seeing it. It's the people like the Grums, or you know uh
People like us who understand.
yeah, us, or Saggy Melons. The people
Well,
who are
I'm saying,
kind of
like,
in.
when I say us, I'm saying in our general like realm of things, gamer, like part game, like I'm news, current events junkie, so everyone knows it doesn't take much. Like we're talking one like and I'll be political. Say no more, fam, type deal, and I'm the one that
Yeah,
hit the like button type deal.
yeah.
Like,
So and that's the thing is, so I think that that we're in this very big shift culturally. I think right now, and
and the
I'm
people at the top that like are constantly complaining about never having any openings do not seem to take the
yeah.
openings that are given to them constantly.
Well,
And when the openings, like, let's be honest, say, let's take Gamergate, or not Gamergate, but Comicsgate. What happened to it? Because we didn't have enough large, like, if early on, if we had people like the Quartering, like Tim Pool, or so on and so forth, then like we had them, but they had nowhere near the cultural clout that they do now. All right.
right, we would have needed somebody like Ben Shapiro or somebody in the higher up echelon,
At
or
that
like
time.
say like Dave Rubin or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah,
Like,
who would have? Which I'm surprised Dave Rubin hasn't got involved because he's a big gamer himself.
well, but here's the point I'm making. Here's the point I'm making. If that had happened in 2018, Ethan Van Sciver would not have been able to take over Comicsgate as a
Yeah,
movement. All
yeah,
right, let's be honest. Ethan
and
Van
it and it
Sciver,
and it wouldn't.
he ruined. Like, say what you want, you can hail Caesar all you want. Truth be told, he killed Comicsgate. He killed the consumer revolt with him and War Campaign.
Yeah,
Let's not let him do the revisionist history and act like he didn't do all that, because he did. Now, with that being said, what we're seeing here is a similar thing. You're going to see somebody who is kind of on the right, quote unquote, but is actually more like right grifter space that'll probably try their best to put up a front of we're fighting them, but really it's not so much fighting them as they're just taking advantage of a full of their money is soon parted.
right, right. Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, this is where, and this is just me, and I'm going to be honest. I don't think I think that it will be effective to a point, but not like once again, not like anything because once again, we don't have anybody in the bigger area
Well, we
space.
do. We have, like, don't get me wrong, we have the quartering talking about it this time. We have, like, Tim.
Oh, although we do have Elon.
Exactly. So, like, the point is, we have people talking about it that we
Yeah,
didn't have originally. That's not the issue this time around. But a grifter is still going to grift, and there are still going to be people who try their best to actually come in and grift off of this space.
yeah.
Like, just because they can.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
Now my view is I think this is just me. I think the fact that Elon's involved now, and he's got a little bit more clout than Adam Baldwin did back in 2016 and stuff like that.
mhm.
But even though Alec Baldwin is still fairly popular, I think Elon has a much more societal shift than Adam Baldwin as an actor. Even though Adam Baldwin was big back in 2016, and he's a big gamer, but the fact that I guarantee you, probably Henry Cavill might get involved because it's
But
gaming.
that's the whole thing, though. We're talking about a whole lot of cultural shifts that have happened that have made it to where a lot more bigger people, like the fact that Henry Cavill has a video up on his Instagram last I like heard, like we all saw the video back in the day where he is like straight up building his own computer.
Yeah,
That right there is a big like point about him and the type of I guess you could say the cultural shift that's been had. Like he feels comfortable enough that he can admit being a gamer. Like, but the whole thing is, even with that being said, the biggest piece we need, we have now, which is people, like I said, like the quartering's a lot bigger now. Tim Pool's bigger, so on and so forth. And because you have these individuals that are of a higher status than what they were then, they're able to more effectively spread the counter narrative.
Right.
Yes, sure, you could sit there and say that, well, they're going to still make the narrative. Let them try. The problem is the narrative machine's been breaking because too many people keep going to get alternate information. Now, is it 100%? No, because you still have a lot of normies that don't really know what's going on.
Right.
You're always going to have a whole lot of normies that don't really know what's going on. But we have individuals that have more effectively taken over the space where the narration control was generally held, and they're doing a good job of countering
Right.
that narrative through proper dissemination of information.
Right. Like I think what we need is somebody like, say, Greg Gutfeld, or Tyrese to kind of get involved, because those are guys bigger in entertainment that could, shift. Like again, and I get pissed off at the narratives and stuff like that. Them saying about oh, well, you guys just hate diversity, and I'm thinking, bitch, no, I don't hate diversity. My whole entire family's diverse. You know,
Well, well,
and
here's the thing. Here's the thing. They have to say that because they have nothing else. If unless you're the evil right wing racist that they want you
yeah,
to be,
true. Yeah,
they, they,
true.
they have nothing. Like when we talk about these, like why do a lot of the same people that you know seem to always be at the behest of failing projects, but somehow are always leading new projects? Well, it's because these individuals fail upward because they've been the like best way to put it, let's be honest, the entertainment industry in our space has been taken over by DEI ESG money. Let's
Yep.
just call it what it is.
Yep.
And because of that, movies and video games and so on and so forth are not being made for profit. They're being made for investment and tax write-off material.
Yep. Which is why I wrote. That's why I wrote the post that I put up on, Twitter. That indies got to be the future, because guess what? These gaming companies, they don't care about gamers anymore. They are,
Nope.
because they're beholden 100% to the shareholders,
Well,
and that's who they need to satisfy. Now, when it starts hitting the shareholders' bottom, like it is at Disney,
they're
then
just
you're going to start seeing the shift.
they're gonna do like they're doing. The CEO of BlackRock, who pushed a lot of the DEI very openly and proudly, was seen in an interview, admittedly stuttering, all right, saying that while yes, the push for DEI and ESG was a bit strong, they were just trying to push for sustainability.
Which is
All right.
bullshit.
Yes, but let's be honest. These guys, we know they're lying. They know we know they're lying. All right, let me phrase that. They're lying. We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying, and yet they still lie. I think that's how the
Yeah.
quote goes. And it's
Well, because what they're going to do is they're going to just lie right to our faces. Because at
yeah,
that point,
they don't care if we know
yeah,
they're lying. And
yeah,
he's saying sustainability because that's what they're going to switch it to, because that's the whole point. Keep lying, never admit that you made a mistake, because let's be honest, that's a whole lot of like actual legit political, like get the potty to bugs type deal. But that's the whole point, though. That is the literal point. They're trying to push us in a direction where they can control us by having us, like I said, get in the pod, eat the bugs. Don't worry, you don't need any type of actual things. Just remember, all those things are just a distraction. Such a
yeah.
distraction.
You,
And
you, you
and
know,
entertainment is pushing that. That's what
yeah,
they. Entertainment is always the, whether you like it or not. entertainment always ends up sooner or later being used for propagandistic
Yeah.
need.
I mean, it's the same story time and time again.
Yep,
You
real ass
know.
talk.
Yep. And every authoritarian regime has used it. You
Yeah,
know. From.
and now it's gaming's turn. Let's just
Yep.
admit it. It is
Yep.
gaming's turn. We're not happy about it, but really not happy about it.
But
But
yeah, that's the thing is, unfortunately, they are, and we've said this time and time again, they're coming after everybody's media because guess what? They don't want you to be happy. What they want you to be happy and care about is the environment and doing right for your fellow man. As much as I love Star Trek, but it is Star Trek hippie stuff.
well, see, the thing about Star Trek, though, is we lived in a post-resource economy, like or society, I should say. We had replicators and things like that. Like, but if we ended up like if someone made IRL replicators, do you want to know what would happen? Do you want to know what happened? Jack Irons touched on exactly what would happen. The creator of it would be completely would be instantly sniped. The technology would be outlawed because there would be no way to make a profit off of it,
Yep.
and we just
But
literally watch as society continues to crumble because
and that's why you need society to be collapsed like the way it did in Star Trek, because at that point you have besides the upper elite people, that everybody else is. Um, Give me a second here. Hold on. No shit. I messed something up here. That's the thing is, society is going to. They need a collapse. To reset everything.
facts. Like, unfortunately, Rome needs to fall in order for we do need a reset, but it's not the reset that the
They,
global elites want.
yeah,
The
exactly.
reset that we need is a complete collapse of infrastructure where, yeah, sure, they have gold and whatnot. A lot of good is going to do them.
Yeah.
Like, I personally think that if we do have a complete societal collapse, one of the first rules that need to be made is you can't have ties to old world money. Like, if you're showing up with gold and whatnot, you got to be able to explain how you got that. Because we know the wealthy will try to escape and use intermediaries to get whatever wealth they need in the new world. And let's be honest,
Well, they already have their wealth established in the new world. Sorry to tell you, it's already
well,
they
that's why
have
I said that's
they
why I
ha-
say if you were ever in a situation like that, like this is all me explaining exactly why such things will never happen because people are greedy and all they will always go. Uh, they as bad as it sounds, and I was the same way for the longest time. People always take the path of least resistance when given the opportunity,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's an unfortunate aspect of the modern era. That's why our games suck. Because think about it, I'm playing the Saints Row reboot earlier, right? Because I'm trying to get through that game because I got it in my humble bundle.
Which one?
Like the reboot,
Which one?
the Saints Row reboot.
Oh, the Saints Row reboot.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
there's only one Saints Row reboot.
I'm sorry. I forgot that even existed.
Right? I don't. On the one hand, I kind of don't blame you because, man,
Isn't the whole story about the dudes like the person's like trying to pay off their school loans?
I don't. Like one person is literally
Yeah.
that is it.
Hey, hothead.
They're literally. I'm being crushed under my student loans, man. Oh
Hey, we
well.
got hothead in the chat. Good evening, sir. Yeah, like I mean, this is why I know both you and I have stressed it. It's like this is why you need to create your own stuff because these companies are not going to care what all. That's why you got to filter yourself wherever you are in the gaming industry, entertainment, movie, music industry. cultivate your own followings. Get your own people that are going to follow you and fund you, because that's where you're going to have the grassroots. That's where you can make careers out of. Let's say you're a band, and you're going around playing the shows. I guarantee you're going to have a better time being in that band, going around doing shows versus being beholden to some music company who's just
Fact.
gonna who's just gonna pump out the same damn crap that's been pumped out for the last 50 years. Um, or the movies for the last. Well, yeah, honestly, you can go back. It started in the music industry. The music industry kind of just started manufacturing stuff left and right.
Well, I think it was Frank Zappa said in an interview that the music will never be the same because where back in the day it used to be, they'd try whatever that like if you were doing music and you got big enough to give you a shot just because who knows maybe you might work out. Whereas now they're like unless they know for a fact you're like going to be a guaranteed like moneymaker basically. They don't take the chance because they want to control. Like everything is literally focus tested and so on and so
Yep.
forth. Like, they don't just go, okay, how does this guy sound? They go, let's see how this guy does compared to other musicians and so on and so forth. And the guy that does the best will be the guy that we actually give a record deal to because we know for a fact he's going to be the one that gets the most uh, I get to say listens, and then from there we can now honestly control his message because he's beholden to us because he's our musician. He's wealthy and famous because of us.
Yeah. Uh,
What can I say? I've actually had a lot of time to sit down and like research this. Sorry,
no, no, that's fine. All right.
this is one of
Yeah.
those
Hot, hot,
hyperfixation so I can take over a conversation fast.
Hothead put a really good think comment in there, which I kind of agree for people. He says, "I heard we're going into a Gamergate 2.0, but I'm not sure how to feel about that." So yeah, let's talk about that. So, you know, are we going into Gamergate 2.0? I wouldn't say it's a full blown 2.0, but it's going to be Gamergate esque. It's going to be like Gamergate, because
It's more
it
in a way the consumer revolt in the vein of what could be taken as a gamer gate or a comics gate, but it's something so much more this time
yeah,
because where everything that they try to say that they're doing that this list does, everyone immediately goes, this started because one of the remember like one of the people that worked for the company tried to get Steam to literally take down the list and ban the user who made the list.
yeah, which is to me like that's the thing is like it was one thing they're claiming that okay, we were talking about game journalist integrity and stuff like that in Gamergate. But now, like, you actually have where these people are actually going physically active after people and getting them to lose their money completely.
Uh-huh. And it's like the big thing that people are the most tired of is that they're sick of literally having to spend money on games and movies and so on and so forth that they're told, oh, it's going to be this way, don't worry, we're not going to have any of that the stuff that you're tired of that you don't want. Don't worry, it's going to be exactly what you want. And then people get to the theater, buy the game, read the comic, so on and so forth, and then ends up being we
Nothing.
lied.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I think that's where like for me as a creator, I'm gonna get things that I enjoy like Near Automata or Final Fantasy Rebirth, things that I think. But if I see like I'll be honest with you, I played Gotham Knights for like a week, and I put it down because that game was so freaking horrible. And I'm not just talking about the narrative; I'm actually talking about the gameplay. It was nothing like Arkham Knight, and it should have been. Like I should have been as Batgirl. I should have been able to glide like the way
And
like
not
like
just that, dude. It's you could tell just by the way that the game felt. It felt like they were trying to give you wokeness thinly veiled in a uh bit, like they were doing their best. I give them credit, they tried to hide what they were doing for as long as they could.
It felt pretentious.
But it still came across as, yes, pretentious. Like Batman, you knew Batman was going to be back. You knew, because of what they were trying to do, they wanted a live service game. So, of course, you were going to be able to play as Batman eventually.
No, then we go to find out, well, the Batman's dead. You there?
Dude, no, I find this whole thing, the current state of the gaming industry and the whole Sweet Baby Inc. situation to be exactly the whole point of why we just gotta let these companies fail. We gotta let these characters fail. We gotta stop trying to why are we fighting to maintain control of something that
does not give a shit about you.
Well, not just that. And what, a decade? Batman and Superman both become public domains. Same with Wonder Woman shortly after that. What's stopping us from, once these characters are public domain, making our own world where we don't have to worry about this? Where we can take these characters legally now and publish our own stories and fix all their mistakes. We just got to wait 10 years. And you know what? When we fix everything that they have messed up and we show them how real, hero stories are done with these characters, how you really handle their canon, over the 80 plus years of being around, then they're really going to be embarrassed. So in the meantime, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Let the industry burn. We got Pal World, baby. We got classic games. I'm playing the Saboteur right now. Why do I need to be worrying about what they're putting out now? As long as I can get to my game. Oh, and guess what? I can lose access to my game on Steam because EA went down and they pulled all the licenses and so on and so forth. I got the game physically.
What's funny is, everybody's, Jean Gentry the other day. I don't know if you follow her on Twitter or not. She's a great woman, fellow gamer like us, very very geeky and stuff like that. And she was talking about, she's like, I don't have to buy a modern game. She said my backlog catalog is so long that I can be playing for years and I don't have to worry about buying a new game.
Facts, 100% facts. I have a Steam library of 1,300 plus games. I'm not worried about it. We don't need your new crap. We will hold the line for a lot longer than y'all, because guess what? There's a lot of us who are actually gamers and will literally, and I mean this in every sense of the word, literally, not buy a new game. We will just play our old games and mod them to make them new.
I had said my backlog catalog on the Switch alone is effing ridiculous, and I'm still adding to it. Yeah, I mean, and we're not just that, dude. The retro community, and I know Nintendo did their crap with the Switch and stuff like that, but the amount of PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 3 that can play PS1, PS2, and PS3 natively discs.
I mean, it sounds like a jet turbine. Mine is all. It sounds like a jet turbine, but man, it works.
Yeah,
I fired up Metal Gear Solid 4.
yeah. I have the Metal Gear Solid collection. I have uh I have Metal Gear Solid 4. I have uh Infamous 2, which I still haven't even played Infamous 2. I
Well,
played
dude,
half the
Infamous
first one.
is pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I never finished them. I just, I have my Final Fantasy 13 series, which
I
I've
do
never
love how
finished.
when the Xbox guy is telling you need to play the PlayStation exclusive.
I'm just saying, like, that's the thing is, plus then my entire Steam library.
Like you need to get on the server.
Hold on. You know, uh, home
I'm
library.
not even on Pal World right now, so
No, neither am I. I have over 999 games.
that's hilarious.
Look, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 3, Age of Mythology. I got AI Synomia files, both of them. I got Alan Wake, Alien Breed, Alien Isolation, the, Amnesia
Wait,
series.
wait, wait. Here's one. Here's two additions that I added to my collection that are Super Nintendo. All right, recent addition: Illusion of Gaia that I never got to complete, and MechWarrior 3050.
Nice.
All
Yeah,
right, go, go,
Hothead.
go. We
Hold
don't
on.
need your new games.
Yeah, Hothead. The reason why I got so many games is because of, and Bob will agree, Humble Bundle.
Yep, same. Same. That's the only reason why I had the new same
Humble,
problem.
yep, Humble Bundle, and also Fantastical gets a lot of good sales going on. Where they'll give you like for like $20, they'll give you like 40 Steam keys for games.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're like little retro double A, single A titles. I'll eventually get to them, but you know what? That's the thing is, and I'm talking about like titles like Bastion or
Dude, do you know how many like Metroidvanias? You know, Metroidvania is one of my weaknesses. If you
yeah.
don't know me them I'm backlogged on that I gotta finish, like get through and legitimately finish and everything, dude. Like, and that's the big thing. Do they really think they got us in any way, shape, or form?
Here, here,
Like,
here. I will add the best original badass, one of the best original badass girls.
to freaking
Right
Samus,
there.
red hair.
Blood Rain.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shoot, I think I got Blood Rain 2. Like, dude, I have the Blood Rain movie. All right, that
Yep.
has the game for PC.
Yeah, see, like that. I just like Bob and I were just talking the other day. Boom, EA releases They go back into their old series. Release Command and Conquer series. I actually still have them on disc. Boom, what did I do? I add them now. So that's just my Steam library. That's not to add all the GOG games I have, plus all the free Epic Game stores. See, I won't buy anything for Epic Games. I just get the free shit from there.
Dude, I stopped even doing that. Like, I haven't installed Epic Game Launcher in so long. Like, half the time, I forget that Epic Game Launcher is a thing. Like,
Eh,
I'm not even going to try and act otherwise. Like, I just go, oh yeah, that's actually a thing.
Hell, I'm not even a fan of F1, and I still have an F1 racing game because I got it in a bundle.
I got
It's a free game.
28. I think it's like 2018, 2019, and then 2020, like or 2020, I should say.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, and not only on top of that, then I have all my Renpy games that people are they are making. You know, like actually this weekend, two of my favorite series are getting released and stuff like that. So I have a lot of independent games that are being done. So
and they're right there. That's the big takeaway. Indies are very quickly taking over the industry and making it to where people don't want to play these AAA titles anymore.
The problem is they're going after the indie creators now. They are, and this is something I wanted to bring up to you and let you know, and see you get your guys' take on this. So they're going after some of these indie creators I have, and they're shutting down their Patreons. They're shutting down like itch.io, and it's all coming back to the credit card processors.
Well, but here's the thing. One, if you're an indie creator and you're not on Subscribestar, you're not on indie, like if you see the writing on the wall, if you are in any way, shape, or form, 1 second, can you mute me, please?
Yep.
Get it. No, I'm at home.
Hold on, Bob. I can't mute you. Hold on. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Bob had a call, but that's the thing is like, so we have this. I really believe that they feel threatened by these big game studios, feel threatened by these smaller game studios, that the single A, the double A, and the lower tier gaming companies, that they're going after these people because these people are getting tired, which is why they're making all these indie games and stuff like that. People are getting tired. Heck, there's some great games on itch.io that I play. Like, I'm gonna launch my itch.io here. Unfortunately, it's on my Legion Go, but there are some great games that are being done on itch.io. Um, Now I'm not talking about like my H games. I'm just talking about just like even regular games like Kitsune Zero. It's a platformer uh that is done in the style of and it's actually set to be released on uh, Steam. Then there's Toazua Knights Dracula Revenge, which is a 2D classic Castlevania style retro. Then there's Toazua Knights Order of the Alchemist. That was released, another Metroidvania. Then there's people that have done some Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, fan games. Um, there is, let's see here. Yeah, I definitely got a lot of H games, guys. There's Soul Delivery, really good. There are a lot of indie game guys, and in all honesty, I really recommend people to go to. There are some great indie creators. Matter of fact, that's where Celeste was on. Celeste was originally, before it got bigger. It was on there. Then we have like there's Artie of the Springs, which is a really cool game, really cute game. That one is that's a really cool game there. Right now being sold on regular price is $15, but it's being right now on sale at $3.74. And I do believe I actually have this on. I actually believe I have this on Steam. Yeah. Yep. It's on Steam. So yeah. So like there is, and that's the thing is that if you can get it on Steam, these indie games, this is really where it is. And again, hothead, I agree with you on this here. Indie games definitely have shown to have more range and creativity than anything you've played recently. A lot of hidden gems. Amen. And that's the thing is with all the different gaming things that people have, like engines, between RPG Maker or Honey Select or, creating games in Unity or there are so many different game engines. If you're down with creating a visual novel, if you're down with creating a Metroidvania, uh, matter of fact, I mean, I wouldn't recommend Unity because, but there's Unreal Engine. So there are definitely a lot of games out there that you people can make, and there are a bunch of them, and they range from anything from tactical RPGs, visual novels, Metroidvanias. This is why I'm saying, you know, as Bob was saying, vote with your dollar. Stop giving money to gaming companies that don't want your money. You know, I'm on the fence. I've been thinking about, yes, I would lose some access to some older games, but I've been really on the fence about dumping my PlayStation membership.
Membership?
So PlayStation.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no. I haven't had a PlayStation membership in forever. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. But the thing is, the reason why I had it is because, there's a lot of games that I get with my membership. So, that I may never get to point to play it, but I want it in my back catalog. So if I ever wanted to play it, I can play it. But I was just talking about itch.io. We're talking about how all these indie games, like here. Okay, here's a recommendation from Hothead. He said, I picked up a game called Lost in Random some weeks back. Basically, a card game that uses a dice creature straight out of a Tim Burton film. Very unique. Okay. So, guys, if you're into something very unique, like there's, I don't know if you guys watch or not, there's the Nerd Desk. So there's like Fox and um, Fox is on there, Retro Game Core. But these guys, Rich from Fan the Deck, and these guys do a lot of like there's a game called Brotato.
Rotato.
But here we are. I mean, this is not a high end game. They're big into these.
Well, let's be honest. We've always been simple creatures. Like, look at the games we played back when we were kids.
Yeah.
They were fun games that a lot of the time were simple as truck. Simple. And you know what? How did we spent hours upon hours playing the ever living ish out of them. And that's the thing that, like, it's why when a lot of these AAA companies are like, we'll audit out and we're going, okay, well, we just won't spend our money on you anymore. And like that's like, we're not worried about what they can come up with and offer us, because we started with nothing but two buttons and a D-pad. Well, four technically if you count the start and select, but I'm not really counting those for most games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we started with that and moved up to what we got today. I'm sorry, but you've got to be actually topping that, and I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No, like they were talking about like one of these companies have become like they're like, oh yeah, this is the world's first quadruple A studio, and I'm like, what? So what? You're gonna spend $400 million on a video game to make that takes you 5 years to put out?
And let's be honest, how many of those games that they spent millions and millions and millions of dollars upon that are actually worth it? Because let's look at Power World. How much did Power World cost? Like, literally.
I
$10,000.
Yeah, I think they said it was only like 500,000 or something like that.
There it is, like 10. But yeah, it was not a large amount. Like, and with that, what did they do? They managed, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, they managed to literally make the most popular game in the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I find the most comical about it is not only did they make the most popular game in the world, but they managed to also show these big AAA companies how it's done.
Yeah.
And
I mean they put Nintendo. Okay, I want to see what you guys think about this. In my opinion, they showed even Nintendo so much that they needed to do work on their open world stuff. that Nintendo just recently created a company. Their whole aspect is creating open world games called Pokemon Works.
Yeah, because they realized that the one of the big things that a lot of people keep trying to get across to Nintendo is the fact that Nintendo's big habit of uh, sticking to the old way of doing things is going to be the literal death of Nintendo.
And being old is not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
But
But
at the same point, you still need to modernize in some ways.
yep. And one of the big issues that Nintendo keeps having with their refusal to modernize is it keeps showing people, oh, since they're not going to modernize, they're not going to step up their game. Why should basically why should we wait for them to put out a monster catching game like that we want?
Hmm.
And that's what Pocket Parry did. They were like, "This is what we want. We want Pokemon with guns. That's it." And because Nintendo, for one reason or another, just couldn't. And let's be honest, Nintendo's been misstepping for years now.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's just
and like,
say that from the get go. When they went after, well, not the move they should have made with Emu Planet was they should have when we're going to start the internet or the Video Game Preservation Foundation. We're teaming up with Emu Planet instead of suing these guys. We're going to trust their care in these products and allow them to be the online preservation of these. And then
mhm,
Nintendo could have turned around and used all that that site as literally the biggest way to push their oopsie, but to literally push Nintendo products. They could literally have a Nintendo brand emulator that
yeah,
you download for free and play all the old ROMs and whatnot. And then guess what? They could have ads run in the emulator. They could have literally and literally like the Video Game Preservation Foundation brought to you by Nintendo. Think about the massive branding opportunity that they threw away by not understanding that they're not in that the world they live in is not the same as the world we grew up in.
yeah.
Like,
I would agree with that.
like, by continuously trying to treat these proper, like the Dave Chappelle meme, like goes, modern problems require modern solution.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is, and we saw it this week too. Like, we saw the problem with look what happened with Battlefront 2 or Battlefront Collection. Like the perfect example. You're releasing a beloved classic and you just botch the entire release.
Like, but one of the things that a lot of people tend to ask is are these botched releases actually botched, or are they doing it on purpose to force people to want to play the new releases? Like, I'm not even going to say that the video game industry wouldn't do some shit like that, because part of me feels like that's like exactly what the modern video game industry would do. Like,
Yeah.
simply because they know that
Shit.
if they don't, those new games are never going to get anyone purchasing them.
Well, and I think they did that. They don't want people to go back and play the retro games. That's the thing.
Well,
That
that too, because retro games are good.
they but the only reason why they're doing it now is they realize they're losing out on money.
And the only thing
So
they have left is these catalogs from back in the day.
no, I don't think so. Hothead says I don't know how. He says not sure how to feel about Nintendo modernizing. Hasn't worked for most gaming companies so far. Now I'm not saying modernizing in terms of modernizing in terms of like the woke politics and stuff like that. I'm talking about like how you do business.
Yes.
While I get that Nintendo wants to be different, but at the same time, why are you releasing a handheld with 4-year-old technology that is already under that is then because that processor that they put in the Switch can go a lot faster. It's already been proven by people that have hacked that things could have run that whole thing could have run much better. Um,
For sure.
um,
That
and
was
there
one big
and rumor has it it's the same thing with the next Switch that they're running on technology that is already 2 years old. You
and
know,
it's because Nintendo refuses to modernize. They keep thinking like Nintendo, yes, they understood with the Switch. They modernized per se and in a way in the right direction, but they keep like it's no longer 2016. If you're going to release a handheld, you got to remember people like myself went out and dropped good money on a Steam Deck because of the fact that we wanted a handheld that we could, run our PC games on. And unless this,
and let's be honest, a lot of people got the Steam Deck that play Switch games.
yeah, exactly. And that's the point I'm making. Unless they actually take the time to sit there and go, okay, one, the smartest move Nintendo can do. Smartest move is release the Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it, while at the same time making it compatible with Steam. And then release their games on Steam as well.
But
This,
they're not going to, unfortunately.
well, I know because that's actually big. Like that's thinking that is going instead of letting someone like say Microsoft court Steam and do something like this, let us do it and let us reap the rewards of being the first company to really officially like link with Steam on that level. I guarantee you, if they did that, they would literally be. What would Nintendo be able to say? Oh no, we hate money. Stop giving us all your money.
Well, I think, and I will say, and before we go to the next comment, we're gonna real quick. Hothead does say I think Nintendo's trying to keep their prices consumer friendly. Well, I would kind of disagree with that because their game, just for the sheer fact that they raised their games up to $70 before almost anybody other company did. Like, so it's one thing if you do it with if you're on a new system like the PS5 or the Xbox One, but the Switch is nowhere near that. Those games are not worth $70. They're not even worth $60. Like in my opinion, they should be at $50 or less.
Well, I mean, think about it. A lot. Don't most of those games like cap out at 30 frames per
Yes.
second?
Yeah, because
Like,
they can't because they can't handle it.
yeah. I mean, like, I'm sorry, but even them, that's pushing it. You're talking like for $40 max. And on top of that, at that point, you're going to be pushing more units because then more kids will be able to convince their parents to buy the game instead of the parents being like, well, if I buy you this, I can't buy you that or this, that, and the other. No. Then they can be like, well, why don't, well, you know what? Since now the price of one game would be the price of what, would be like basically two, let's get you this new game you want. And, oh, look, there's that old game you were talking about. It's dropped down to $20. Let's go ahead and get that too.
Yeah.
Nintendo would move so much more, like pure product that way. And they don't understand. It's like, you're being dumb, you fucking dense motherfuckers. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. They're being that way. All right. So Hothead goes here. Next question. He says, I keep hearing that ESG is the cause of why modern games suck. Any thoughts on that? Yeah, we were talking about
like
this.
I said earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, Hothead. That is why gaming suck now, because they're no longer. It's no longer about the
Profit.
fans.
It's about the investment.
Yep, it's about the investment, the ESG. It's their scores that they care about. They don't care about the gamers at all. Period.
Well, and you also got to figure, like I said, the CEO of or one of the CEOs of BlackRock came out saying, "Well, we went a little too hard on the messaging for ESG, DEI. We were just, we were at the end of the day just talking about sustainability, which is going to be what they're going to replace all of that language with once again. It's just going to be, well, we're trying to be sustainable. How sustainable is your company?"
Right. And we already see it happening over in the that same language is already being used in like the oil industry or global warming and stuff like that. So
Well, just think about it. Linguistics 101. Take a term that's already in use and co-opt it for another term.
Yep.
Marxists use this all the time. All I gotta say is leave it to the overly political one to immediately tie this to something commies do.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, so I mean, this is why I keep coming back to. I would rather, this is something I want to bring up. Like, years ago when Eric and I and Chris, we were doing before we started Sporkman, we were doing our independent film stuff, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, do you want to go to Hollywood? You want to go to Hollywood?" And Chris or Eric and I were like, "No, we'd rather do our own thing because we're not beholden to somebody else." And we have our own company. We want to put out stuff that we enjoy to put out.
Exactly.
And we think
you, at the end of the day, control the narrative that you are putting out, because you want your products that you put out for people to view to align with your morals. And when you're beholden to other people, you're beholden to their morals, not yours.
Right. So what Chris or Eric and I did, we stuck to that. We really tried to stay independent as much as possible. Now that doesn't mean we wouldn't sign with like a distributor or something like that. Like that might be a person, but we didn't want to be beholden to Hollywood or the mainstream. Well, hold on. Let me finish. We didn't want to be beholden to the mainstream, like say your standard filmmaking stuff. We wanted to do stuff that we enjoy, what we had fun with. But then our partner Chris went and he's like, where does he go? He goes to Hollywood. And fails in Hollywood, and he comes back and he's pissed off, and then he drops everything. And then Eric and I were like, we have to pick up the mess and stuff like that and trudge on, but ultimately still set us back because our third partner, we're no longer doing what we loved.
Yeah. Well, but the point I was about to make is to actually, kind of be like, for every Bruce Timm, because I happened to get a hold of a copy of an original DVD release of Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker uncut. And I'm watching this, right? And I'm like, you'd never get something like this today.
No.
There's some, look at Iris Island. Crisis on Infinite Earths is a really good movie. I'm not going to sit there and say that they didn't do a good job. All right? And I like how they're tying it together with everything else they've done. All right. I'm not going to hate on it. All right?
Are you talking about the one that was just released?
Yeah, that we're waiting for the sequel of?
There's actually going to be two more movies.
Oh, snap. I can't wait because the Freddie Willis is returning as Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, and actually, in the third volume, they already recorded, before he died, they recorded Kevin Conroy's voice.
Nice.
So we are getting him.
Can we give Jensen Ackles credit This man has played Jason Todd and Batman now and killed it both times.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Yeah,
And
I like.
the Great Soldier Boy. Like, they already know who I am, or they already know my name. Why do I gotta say it?
I think I'll be honest with you. In watching it, and this is something I know you and I didn't get a really chance to talk about. I actually did enjoy Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Oh,
I it was good. It was fun. It kind of reminded me somewhat of the older DC series, like back.
What did I hate? Race swap Iris Island. The character was right.
Yeah.
I will give it that. The character was correct.
Yeah, they did a good job. Like I think the reason why I think they did that was they were trying to give homage to like the Flash TV series.
Which, speaking of, I think James Gunn is trying his best to like counteract all the bad press he's gotten and pissed off fans. You know who he's talking about playing the Flash?
Gustin Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, hey, dude, the amount of people they have in that movie, I don't know. I don't know, man. They got way too many characters in there. It feels like it's going to be more a Justice League movie than a Superman movie.
Wait, you're talking to the new Superman? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to watch it. Like,
dude, they got
no watching. No watching. Wait.
I didn't watch anything. I'm just saying they have
well, no. Like, I was about to say never mind because I forgot. You don't necessarily watch things if you know how I'm explaining this.
I fly the high seas, brah.
Yeah, that's like the only way where like I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to see Deadpool 3. Like, well, but I'm not going to see it in theaters.
Yeah, because you're going to see it how I provide it.
I told it to you.
So apparently, somebody posted today that Henry Cavill has a cameo in Deadpool 3.
That's hilarious.
If that's true, I would almost have to laugh. I'm like, that is some balls, man.
That is them pretty much shitting on DC, saying you fucked up so badly.
Yep.
That we have to now, like, dude, honestly, I think Deadpool might, like, if Ryan Reynolds did this right, and knowing him, he fought Disney every step of the way.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he literally was like, look, I gotta swear. I have to be allowed to, this has to be a Deadpool movie. You guys can't be involved. You have a stink around you now.
Yep.
I have to, you're, like, I see Kevin Feige looking at Ryan Reynolds like, Ryan, help me, Ryan Reynolds. You're my only hope.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you. Deadpool is, to me, Deadpool is really what's keeping the Marvel Universe alive.
Yes.
It's not, that is just my opinion. I know a lot of people will say, oh, the second one sucked. No, the second one was great. Because it was still, now it wasn't 100% true to the character, but
I view the second one like this, all right? It wasn't bad, but was it as good as the first one?
No.
The problem with the second one is I felt like you could tell that there was a civil war going like right off the bat behind scene.
Yep, I really think Kevin Feige was that Disney was trying to stick their nose in as much as possible.
No, it was Tim Miller. Tim Miller was wanting to make it a big budget movie. He was like, we did our, like small budget, got to do what we wanted. Now let's play ball and, cash in on it. And Ryan Reynolds and everybody was like, no. We're trying to actually like make a Deadpool movie that fans will want to actually see. and that brings in Cable, shows proper respect to these characters, and so on and so forth. Because of all that, though, that's why on screen it feels like there was no real cohesive vision between Ryan Reynolds, the writing staff, and Tim Miller.
Yeah, true. Okay. I can see that.
It's not that they weren't trying to make a good Deadpool movie, it's the fact that Ryan Reynolds and the writing staff had one vision that they wanted to make that was more unified, and Tim Miller had another vision that he wanted to make that was more standard Hollywood big budget fare, which is why you had so much more quote unquote big budget style stunts and visuals in that movie. That didn't work because it's out of place in a Deadpool movie. The type of visuals you want that is big in a Deadpool movie is like Deadpool firing a rocket through a truck at and hitting his target, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of high visuals that you want in a Deadpool movie. All right, Deadpool, being with the X-Men or regular superheroes, yes, that does work, but only if he's the funny man and the rest of the movie is trying to be the straight man. That's when the team setting works for him. They tried to make an X-Force movie as well as like a soft X-Force starter movie without actually making an X-Force starter movie. Which once again, an ununified vision because Tim Miller wanted to make X-Force. And then Fox got sold anyway and it didn't matter.
This is true.
The one downside to being the guy that remembers too much ish. I because of the fact because remember I talked about a lot of this when it happened on Meeting of the Minds then.
Yeah.
I mean 6 years ago. Can you believe it's been that long?
Yep. Well, and we already know that pretty much Marvel's over with because they're going to try to reboot everything with the Fantastic Four. But I mean, how
Pablo Pascal as Reed Richards?
Yeah, like why? Why Pablo Pascal? Why? Why are
they think they'll be able to cash on his Mandalorian fame, but the problem is he's become like Pablo Pascal. There's a reason why. I'm gonna just be real. When was the last time you ever heard someone say, "Hey, let me go see the latest Pablo Pascal movie"? All right, let's look. The Nicolas Cage movie with him in it wasn't. Let me go see the movie Pablo Pascal's in it. No, the Nick Cage movie looks like it's gonna be hilarious. All right. Mm-hmm. No one cares about him, and any chance to actually rise his star that he had with The Mandalorian, he immediately shot himself in the foot with by becoming political, which the very people that he was trying to court as fans are tired of because that's what they always see, over politicization of these characters. Are you all right? You got quiet.
Yeah, no. There's just something I was looking at real quick. Sorry.
Okay, then I will continue.
But I was giving you your platform also.
Yeah, well, no. I was just making sure that I wasn't taking over because I tend to do that. I don't need to.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. I'm so
blow these guys with some. Nope.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Yeah, well, hey, so good news for next week. I got Josh Howard on. We're gonna have him next. So it's gonna be a later show, unfortunately. Possibly he's got to see what's going on. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of times to do stuff, so we might actually have to do like a recording of it and then air it at a different time.
completely would understand. And that also worked great with me because depending on what time I work the next day and so on and so forth, because
Well, it is next Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time.
oh man.
Yeah. So that's
Oh wait, what day is that as well?
next Friday,
No, I'm talking as I look at you with the
22nd.
okay, I might not be available for that.
That's okay.
Like, I might have to wait. We might have to meet up here, Chuck.
Why?
Um, I'm possibly going to be taking a trip up to Pennsylvania. Like
Oh.
here in the next couple, like literally within the next few days.
Like where?
Erie-ish.
Okay, you're going to be on the other side of the state.
Like,
I'm in central Pennsylvania.
yeah, dude.
I'm like 3 hours east of Pittsburgh.
That you're still speaking gibberish to me because I'm not from Pennsylvania.
Okay, so Pittsburgh is in. Okay, so you know where Baltimore is. You're
Bro.
probably coming up. You're coming up probably what? Oklahoma through Tennessee up through West Virginia into Pennsylvania.
I am not looking forward to it. I don't like, and I mean this in the truest sense of the word. I do not want to have to deal with this, but at the same time, I get it because my dad's got like either way, shit was going to be real. I was either going to have another cat and two dogs in this house, all right, on top of my two cats. Miss Ma'am, who, is very territorial as is, the stray I, adopted. But she already drives poor Charles nuts. But, like, it's I am not looking forward to it regardless. Like of having all the animals, the dogs, which she's not gonna like, or have to be on a 24-hour, I think it is almost, fucking road trip from here to Pennsylvania. Oh my god, I'm going to hate it. Last time I did this, it was 1993.
Why aren't you guys flying in?
One, not the with we'll be pulling stuff back, so we want one of our trucks. And two, do you really think you're gonna get me on a plane?
What, did your grandmother pass away?
No, Grandma's still across the street. We're going to get David stuff from where he lived up there.
I don't know who David is.
My uncle that passed away recently, like literally a couple days before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Like, we're talking this past year, we did not have a Christmas because Danny went into the hospital the week before Christmas. I think it was a week. No, it was 2 weeks before Christmas. Like the 17th, 18th, maybe even the 16th, he went into the hospital. 18th, 19th, my mom and grandmother were there in Pennsylvania. The 22nd, 21st, Danny died.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yep.
That sucks.
I'm just glad he was able, like Grandma and Mom was able to get there, because I know if he had died and Grandma had not been able to get there, Grandma would have felt horrible. I'd be, huh?
Well, on that note, okay, so do you know where Harrisburg is?
No, dude, like literally the only place I've ever been to in Pennsylvania is Erie, and that was in '93.
Okay.
Like, I hate to be like bearer of bad news, but like, that's why I was like, hey, I'm gonna be there. Like, definitely, like, opportunity arise to definitely catch up. Like, it'd be interesting. Like, but at the same time, I'm also like, do a meeting of the minds where for once we're not at a different location.
Yeah, so like Well, we're actually going to be moving next month here soon.
Wow.
Yeah, we're moving into Harrisburg is where we're moving. Um, so
Okay,
yeah.
that'd be like probably me moving from here to like OKC or something, which is that's like an hour and a half away.
Well, for us, for me, it's only a half, like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, so almost like going to then I would say a better analogy for here would be going from here to Cash because I can go like hop in my truck, all right, and be in Cash 20 minutes from now.
Yeah. Um, Basically, the way so there's a river that comes down through central Pennsylvania called the Susquehanna, and I live on what's called the west shore of Susquehanna,
Gotcha.
and I'm moving to the east. We're moving to the east shore. My sister's actually buying a house. A friend of the family whose brother passed away. Uh, they're looking to sell the house, so we're actually going
Oh,
to.
so y'all are actually buying the house?
Yep, yep, yep. My sister
Do
is.
it, dude. You know I encourage like home ownership, and that'll be especially great for like buy the house in a trust though. Trust me. Look into trust house ownership. It'll be a lot safer than actually outright buying the house, and it'll make it easier to pass the house along to her daughter.
She doesn't
With
want to pass it. She doesn't want to pass it to her daughter because we're gonna live there for a little while, save up some money, and then we're gonna sell the house.
I mean, then especially if you're going to do that, buy the house in a trust. It'll make it to where when you go to sell the house, you'll be able to
And that is
save a
out of
lot of
my
money in
hand.
taxes.
That's out of my hand. My sister's taking care of that. I am not buying the house. It's not going to be in my name at all.
I was trying to like give you what I've been looking into. Like apparently, trust ownership is actually a really smart way to go, especially if you're wanting to buy, sell, or even buy to rent out a home.
Come
Trust
on.
ownership is a good way to go.
Ah,
Like what can I say? I eventually like part of the reason why I keep putting in all the work on the tube to the U. You know, I'm at like where's my phone? Let me see where I'm at. Last time I checked, I was at 1,031 subscribers.
are you monetized yet?
No, I have a long ways to go before I can get monetized because I need the thousand. I need to have 4,000 hours of watch time. Let me like. All right, so I only have like 33 public hours of watch time, and for the eligibility of like creating memberships and things like that, I need 3 million short views within a 90-day period, or 10 million for the full monetization eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
So while I mean, I get all right views on my shorts. There's nothing like that yet, but I am slowly but surely getting there. It's all about keeping myself consistent. I would
Yeah.
have more videos on there that are recent, like unboxing vids. I'm so behind. Like, I have several different like Hot Wheels I want to unbox. I got a Nightwing figure I want to unbox. I got like a couple comic and little like 3-inch figure that I want to unbox.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. I just haven't like. All right, I unboxed this Link bit or Link figure, right?
Okay.
And all the footage was unusable because Miss Ma'am was constantly using that opportunity to go after Charles. So you're on video hearing her attack him and me have to break him up and like and
Yeah.
it's not
Well.
like she's not like trying to hurt him, but she's trying to assert her dominance.
Well. That'd be what women do.
And what's funny is she's looking like hopped down from where she was, looked at him like, you hear that? He knows what's up. Like literally meowed at him when you said that.
Because you hear me.
Uh huh. Well, I got to out of my TV, but I mean,
No, anyhow, like I think we've said our piece and stuff like
oh,
that.
I've definitely been ranting a lot this evening, but that's par for the course. I mean, but hey, I mean, I just find it incredibly hilarious that I somehow managed to get like 2,000 views today on a video that I put up like 3 days ago.
Yeah, that's awesome. So bottom line, like what let's kind of we're gonna kind of close it up here. It's 9:30, so I don't want to hold you up too late.
Oh
So
yeah, I just got to be at work at 9 in the morning. Thank you for reminding me.
so really comes down to I think we both are in agreement that people need to start voting with their wallets.
Uh-huh.
Buy indies where you can, or single A, double A studios, who are putting out good games like Sea of Stars, or
Bullet Pocket Pair, who put out Craftopia, freaking Pal World, and they got a couple other games on there.
like that. Going that's going after companies who align. I mean, I hate. I'm not the type of person who likes echo chambers, but at the same time, when you're dealing with people who literally do not care about your money, um, support the alternate economy.
Yeah. Well, and that's the big point. It's like why I say when you made the comment about how these woke skulls are going after their like payment processors and so on and so forth, and it's like if you knowing all this is happening haven't already gone to like Subscribe Star and these other various freaking like platforms that you could easily look up using like Public Square or something, to support the alternate economy so people that like to cancel others no longer have any power, like, that's on you. That is on you. You knew better.
Well, I mean, the thing is, at the same time, I mean, I do kind of when people are, because once again, name recognition does have a lot to do with things. Unfortunately, somebody's going to know more of Patreon versus say
Subscribe Star.
Subscribe Star. But at the same time, you are. I mean, we are at this point. We've seen the stuff that Patreon has been doing for years. A lot of these people just didn't think it would come to them. So,
Well, unfortunately for them, like they maybe they should have paid attention to the Star Trek: The Next Generation finale and understand that all good things come to an end.
yep. And it's only going to get worse, unfortunately, because these gaming studios and these companies, they're run by commies, and they like we said, they don't care about your money. They would rather just burn everything down versus
If they can't push their narratives in the medium, they'll burn the medium to the ground on the way out
yep.
to make sure that you can't use those mediums again. Like, think about what they would have to do. They would literally have to say the past like decade and a half of comic books, for instance, right, are no longer canon to get to fix the damage that has been done to the comic industry. All right, there's so many things that they've done, and like destroying every copy of those comics, but both digitally and physically, still would not be enough to rid us of the memory of those comics. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like these characters like Nightwing saying, "Well, have you seen my ass? I got to be at least a little queer." to Superboy saying, "Oh, I'm by the way," without him asking randomly, like that right there is exactly why the current state of comics have ruined
Yep.
these characters. And like you said, they're commies. And they're going to do whatever they can do to make sure that if their message can't be pushed in this medium, that the medium will be destroyed.
Yep. So, bottom line, support indie creators where you can.
Yep.
Indie comics, indie music. If you still want to support, say, like let's say DC releases a good book that you really like, do an older one, do an older title and stuff like that.
Yeah, Keyless fucking posted a picture of a chick holding a gun, wearing like being scantily clad. America, we're better than you. I mean, not wrong. But no, dude, like I said, speak with your money.
Yep.
Stop letting the woke scolds win. Stop being like, I have to buy this thing. You freaking consumerist bastard.
You consumer. So yeah. Bottom line,
Oh,
I mean, we're gonna, unfortunately, just Bob and I both agreed probably that sadly, we're going to see more and more of this. It's not going to end.
nope.
It's only going to get worse for now before it gets better.
Dude, and it's one of those, like I said, the upside. Like I said, upside, we this time compared to like what happened with like Comicsgate and so on and so forth, while yes, there will still be the grifter-esque types
Mm-hmm.
that try to take over like EVS did, there will also be that's less likely to happen because this time we got Quartering, we got Tim, we got Elon freaking Musk, you stooges.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So maybe their time is done. So, all right, guys. Well, next week, like I said, either it's going to be Thursday night or Friday night, or if I do the recording online, it will be posted Saturday. I'm going to have Josh Howard, who of the wonderful series Dead at 17 slash T Bird and Throttle. He'll be joining me next week. We're going to talk about his campaign, him making his funding goal of 6,000. Of course, we want to raise as much as we can.
Well, we already knew the man's book was going to get funded. That was not a question.
We knew it, but he wasn't sure of how much crossover there was going to be, But I think because he's proven himself a good creator, fulfilling his stuff, especially with T Bird and Throttle. Now he's going to have people like me and John Delarose who are longtime fans of him, but there's a lot of people who are just turning on to him. So, him and I, we're going to talk. We're going to talk his Dead at 17. We're going to talk about where it began, where it's going, because this issue is going to be. It is going to be launching. It's going to be a zero issue, but it's going to be a launching of a new series. This the end of this year.
Nice.
So yeah, so we're not just going to get some more T-Bird and Throttle. We're going to be getting some more Dead at 17, which is nice. So,
dude, and that's the big thing. Like, at least he is staying consistent because in the 6 years since you introduced me to him, the man has been consistently putting out good books and so on and so forth.
yeah.
He's been consistently working. Has he worked on other projects outside of his own too?
He has done he did covers for Sweet. I got he did a series cover for Dynamite. Give me a sweet baby vigilante. I think the series is. Yeah, Sweet Candy Vigilante. He did some covers for that. He does cover. He's got covers for the that series done by Dynamite. Um, he and I'll show that. Of course, he also has a series called Black Harvest. So we'll talk about that. Is he going to be stepping into there? He's done some early work, other work on like his Eve from Dead at 17. He did some short stuff on there, but I don't think he's really done anything outside of that. Like he does like a lot of art and stuff like that. But I would love to if I move forward to get this stuff done for Spearhead. I want to actually I want to I want to do I think Josh would be the artist I would want to use for Volt Chaos.
Nice. I get that.
So because of him already having that mythological stuff dealing with Dead at 17 and the dealing with like the heavenly realms and stuff
Don't,
like
don't,
that.
don't, don't. You don't need to lie to kick it. You want it because you're a Josh Howard fanboy and you would love to have Josh Howard as your artist.
Yeah, exactly. Bottom line, yes, yes. I think that's the case because Josh is a very good creator. Guy. Not just that, he's very moral. He's a good family man. So I would definitely, I hope one day I can meet him at a con. But if I don't get to meet him on this side, I'll be hoping I get to meet him on the other side. So, which is always good. So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up here. Where can people follow you, Bob?
Well, first off, if you're not already, you should head over to a Nerd and Over 30 right here on the YouTube and give me a subscribe. Check out my shorts. They're a bunch of let's be let's be honest, ADHD and autist just ramblings of silliness. So enjoy that. And outside of that, you can find me on Rumble at a Nerd and Over 30. You can find me on the Instagram at Bob Jones Comic Wars and find me on the Twitters at Brainiac420.
All right. And as always, guys, you can follow me here at Volcaius1975 and on the twatters, you can follow me at Dead Moon D, and on Instagram, I am at Dead Moon Detectives. I think I'm on mine still, but I can't get into my account for some reason. But
I was, but I haven't bothered to hop on Mines or Gabs in literally like I think I haven't been on either of those since like 2019.
yeah,
2019.
yeah. I think part of the problem is just because it is yeah.
You go to Mines when you've been banned from Twitter and Facebook.
Basically. So, all right, guys. Well, again, I do appreciate you guys watching. If you watch now, joined us. Thanks shout out to Hothead, who always comes in our chats. Shame we missed Neo tonight, but we'll give him a shout out anyhow. We love we love the guys, Neo, all the guys over there at Mythoverse, our boy Brian Ball, who's serving our country across the seas right now. We extend a big prayer for him. Hopefully he comes back safe because we need more Regina. We always need more Regina in our lives.
It's funny you mentioned the Mythoverse guys. Whoopsie. So went by my buddy's toy shop earlier, right? I'm not gonna lie. I took him that Mech Warrior 2030 I got because I bribed him with some dragon fruit freaking Red Bulls. And while I was there, he tossed me a OG like original series Enterprise, right?
Nice.
But it's not just any OG original series Enterprise. It's a light up OG original series Enterprise.
Nice.
Where like the saucer and neck section all lights up, and you can see like the like windows and everything, like the bridge, upper bridge and lower bridge. It's great.
So, all right. Well, guys, again, thank you for coming or watching the stream if you're watching it later. And as always, God bless, guys, and have a good one.
Later, folks.